Welcome, everyone. This is Lady T from Shoes That Talk. I have a guest today, Tiffany Tanelle. Yes.
Hey y'all.
And it's me, Sherry, in the place to be tonight.
Shoes That Talk. Yes. Hey, y'all. Again, this is Lady T with a guest today, Tiffany Tanelle.
Hey everybody.
Hi, Tiffany. Welcome tonight.
Thanks for having me.
So I decided to bring Tiffany on. I met her at the Culture Arts Center one evening that Rennie Bass, who's the owner of the Culture Center, was having an evening event. And she was just sitting over there looking so fabulous.
Oh, thank
And I just went over and said, "You look gorgeous. Who are you?" And she told me a lot about herself. She's a fashion designer from Baltimore. And I'd like you to share some of your hopes and dreams and your positivity that you bring into your designs.
you. Okay. Yeah, so I wear many hats. I'm an entrepreneur. I consider myself as an artist, honestly, because that's where it started from art. Music. It started with music. I used the fashion to inspire, to push my clothes. Push my music.
Okay.
So yeah, that was the. I didn't realize how good I was at it, and once I realized how good I was like, oh, okay, I can maybe turn this into something else, and yeah, and then me wearing my pieces, like you said, you see me, so people notice, like they see the dresses or things that I create, and then they want it. So
Yes, you
it
were
opened
very
up doors
fly,
for me.
very
So
fly.
yeah, that's what I'm doing.
That's what you do, huh?
Yeah.
So as we were chatting, we were talking about the fashion and you having a fashion show coming up at Patapsco Arena on the 27th
Yes, ma'am.
from 9 till 2.
Well, it starts at
Okay.
6 p.m. Don't get there at 9, y'all. It starts at 6 p.m. and it's over at 11. We got a lot of guests that's coming. Special guests. I ain't going to drop the names yet, but we do have some other artists that you guys may be familiar with. KFM Buck, he's been doing a lot in the city. Shout out to Buck. You know you watching. He's a rapper, inspiring artist. We got Seven. He's also an artist. We have some models from MMW model agency. They've been doing really good, doing a lot of work in the city. Been doing pretty good. So we got some of them very professional critique agency who is also working with the models that we have on board. It's a lot of us.
So that's great that you have an event and you're involving other people
Yes.
that are very creative and in the same field as you.
Mm-hmm.
And models are do they all have to be small because you do have all size women? Are these women going to be petite and tiny?
They all different sizes. I have a few plus size models, and then just all different sizes, honestly, and a few like petite models.
So, Tiffany, what age were you when you started, or when to start? You say you design, you make clothes, you
Yes.
sew, and all that. What age did you start doing
I
that?
started really young. So when I was younger, I would take like clothes and cut them up for my dolls.
Oh, okay.
I did stuff like that. Now that I have children, I realized this was a problem because I cut up a lot of stuff. It's funny because my daughter did that one day. She took a sock and it was so like really fabulous how she did it and put it on a doll, and she wrapped something around, looked like a belt. And I couldn't get mad at her because in that moment I was like, "This is me all over again." So yeah, I started out that way. I would take stuff and create like that, and then in middle school, they had home economics. So then I really learned how to sew with a machine, because first I was using like a needle and thread, which my aunt taught me how to use the needle and thread. But then I was like, oh, I get to use the machine. So yeah, so I think my first project was a pillowcase.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
What school did you go to?
Calvinson Middle.
Okay, that's on the west side?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you're
West
originally
side.
from west side.
Yeah.
Okay, west side in the
Yeah,
house.
definitely from west side. But yes, I started out there. I learned how to do that, and then it was only for like a semester.
Okay.
So it's funny that I really stuck with it because they didn't they only taught us like the basics, and I don't know. I just fell in love with it, and my teacher, she told me, the instructor, she was like, "This is something you're probably going to stick with because nobody else was as happy as I was about the pillowcase."
So did you design clothes for like when the school have talent shows?
No, we didn't have that kind of stuff back then. Nah, they actually just took it out. Like it was like I had the one semester they taught us, and then they took home economics out of school.
They did.
So I didn't. After that, it was like, well, I'm glad that I was introduced to it. So yeah, but I wish I could have did a little more.
Okay, and you said that you were a singer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, and I started that. Well, it didn't start there, but I did a lot. I think it got bigger when I in that school as well. So I discovered a lot of things about myself in middle school.
Okay.
My music teacher, he shout out to Sellers, Sharando Sellers. He recognized I had talent, and he put me on the spot. He gave me a solo, and that was just, it was a wrap. So we had like a gospel choir, and I think the number one song I would do was "Lean on Me."
Oh,
remember that song back in the day? Yep. So that part at the end where she do the big high note, that wasn't me that originally sang it, but you couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I was her. Yes.
You're going to hit something today for us.
I don't know.
Oh, come on, girl.
My voice is
Sing a
under
little
stress.
something.
This show got me stressed out, honey.
Girl, you ain't showing no stress. You just flowing really, really
That
great.
is the grace of God, okay?
Yes.
I'm all over the place now.
Yes,
I really am in a good place. I feel ready.
You are ready.
Yeah, I feel ready. I mean, it took a lot to get me to this point because I wasn't always like ready.
So you're grateful for the progress.
Yes, I am.
In the process.
Yes. And you say with how I can inspire someone else. Don't rush the process because everything, all of it count. Even the small baby steps, all of it count. The failures, the triumphs, all of it. Celebrate small accomplishments.
So what has been your most triumph task being a designer?
So I think I realized how good I was at it because I'm a real tough critic. I'm real hard on myself. It's bad. But I realized I was pretty good at it when the one girl somebody had booked me to make a prom gown, and the prom gown was a Michael Costello dress where he made Beyonce's dress.
Okay.
So I did a look on that, and it looked like it. And she gave me the dress, and she showed me what she wanted me to make, and I created it. And the way people was reacting, like people were driving off, like when she came out, people were driving off the street and pulling up just to watch her in that gown. So it was a big moment for me, and my mother was there. Yeah, rest in peace to my mother. Yes, it was definitely a moment where I was like, okay, I can actually see this might be something that, I can continue to do. Because I told you music was my focus, But I like art. Like, I like to create things. Yeah, so being creative is definitely my comfort zone. That's what I like to be. Yeah.
Yes, African Americans are the most creative.
Yes, we are.
People in the world,
And so, what are some of your favorite designers?
I mentioned one actually, Michael Costello. He made that dress for Beyonce. That was actually his moment too. I look back at his story, and he was saying that when he made that dress for her, it opened a lot of doors for him. And then some of the other names, Chanel and Versace. I like a lot of different pieces. So,
okay,
yeah, from them. I like with Chanel. I like all the beatings and like they do a lot of contour. So
like a lot of embellishing.
Yes, I love that kind of stuff. So
did you like the movie Prada? The Devil Wears Prada.
Yes.
That was like one of my favorite because of the fashion that's
I
on
definitely
there.
like that. I watched that one a lot of times.
Okay.
She wasn't real nice, but and it's funny because there's a lot of people in that industry, right? In that industry, they could be a little,
Yeah.
So when I come off and people meet me, they be like, "You're nice." Like, yeah, I am. It's okay, but they be like,
you wanna keep your own identity.
That's right.
That's essential with moving forward in the industry, moving forward in the business, just having your own
Yeah, staying grounded.
stand ground, because a lot of times people can stigmatize you and
Oh my
they'll
God, I just got
create
finished talking about
something
that.
that is not even there.
So here's the thing. I'm glad you said that because I've been talking with one of my friends and they would like comparing me to people. I hate being compared.
Yeah,
I don't like it. And they like, well, it's a compliment, Tiff. And I'm like, I just feel like it puts me in a box.
It does.
And I feel like I got so much more to offer. And when you put me in a box, it's hard for me to express myself that way, And even when speaking of stuff like that with the fashion, when they give me other people looks, I prefer to create my own. So with the fashion show, it gives me, it shows like no limits. This is what she do. Like she's getting ready to like do this and do that. So it's
gonna be extravagant.
Yeah. So let me show y'all that I can do other stuff too. Like don't put me in a box, please. Honestly, I shock myself. I really can do a lot of different stuff, and I'm learning to just embrace who I am, and be okay with, just being talented and not. I had people growing up. They would tell me, "Do one thing." How? I know how to do so many. Like, well, how can I do one thing?
Well, I learned that doing one thing at a time is much better for me.
Yeah.
Because when you multitask, you really can't strategically do one thing. You leave things undone.
Right.
And as really the last couple of months, I'm learning to slow the pace down.
Yeah.
And focus on one project at a time.
Yeah.
Like I took on a task and put a book on Amazon. And at the beginning, I thought I needed someone else to help me with it. And I just shut down everything else I was doing and focused.
Yeah.
And I got it done, And sometimes you'd let the fear come in. Oh, I ain't going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But, girl, I put the fear, you know how you brush it off your shoulders. I said, I'm going to do this. And girl, I looked, the book was popped up on there, and within 24 to 78 hours, you'll be able to purchase, Rudy Williams' book, The Macadamia Diary.
Okay, I'm going to check that out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Well, I'm learning. I'm learning to be more like how to multitask and it all still be productive. It works for me for some. Like they like, how you here, you there? I don't know. It works for me. I like to stay busy. Yeah, it keeps me grounded. I don't know. It really do, because if I sit there and I focus on one thing too long, I'll get overwhelmed. I get frustrated with it. So I need to balance it. So yes, I have to balance myself. I would find other things to do. I'll walk away from it for a minute, especially with sewing. Sewing, you got to have a lot of patience with that.
Absolutely.
You got to have patience. It sometimes the machine got its own mind for the day, and it's just like, all right, I'm going to just pull up. Sometimes I got to pull up wine, and I got to drink my wine, to calm down. Seriously, this is what I be going through. And then I have to go, and I might say, all right, I'm going to go out with Lady T tonight, and I'm going to lead this project over here for a second. And then you come back and you got fresh thoughts and so I like to stay, like, it works for me. I don't know.
So you're diligent about being a designer.
Yeah, well, it's opened a lot of doors for me. Like, just the fashion portion of it. When they find out that I do other things, like I've been doing some hosting and stuff. Shout out to DJ Duke, got me all over the place hosting. Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of that, and it's it opens a lot of doors. Like you said, you stopped me from what I had on. I remember when I met Tracy Braxton.
Okay.
I met her because she said the same thing. She stopped me and was like, "What is your name?"
Wow.
So I realized that, what the Bible say, your gifts will make room for you. There was stuff I made, just being creative. So I just, yeah.
So what's your favorite as far as fashion? You like to do trendy pieces, or do you like timeless pieces? Or?
I like timeless pieces. I like back in the day stuff, like
things that just never go out of style. You can always go in your.
That's a good question.
It can be your go-to. Like, this never plays out. So.
Like, I like the oversized sleeves and stuff like that, like the dramatic sleeves. I I love that era
Yeah,
of
so
like
do I.
women. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think it's so classy and like fashionable. Like it's just beautiful to me.
Yeah.
And I don't think it'll ever go nowhere.
Yeah, I don't think so
So
either.
I like to try to use like old, seasoned looks
Yeah.
and make it modern,
Mhm.
and add a little bit of my,
You're right.
flair and
But you're,
touch on it. So yeah.
what about you, Tammy?
I love fashion, just all types of fashion.
Mm.
I always considered myself as a fashion icon myself
You are.
and very fashionable. I do dress women. I am a stylist, and I loved dressing women, kids, anyone. I just love fashion, and I always had. My mother was a fashion icon. Shout out to my mother, rest in peace, Miss Goldie, Patricia Tucker. That's my mom. She
I know
was
that's right.
gorgeous, and I understand that you're a mom too. How
Yes.
many kids do you
I
have?
have three. My babies. My oldest is 18, my son, Christopher. Shania's 13. She'll be 14 at the end of this month. And then my youngest is 11. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And there's a story behind one of your kids. Is it the son?
Oh, yeah, Christopher.
Can
Yeah.
you tell everyone about that story?
I tell a
'Cause it
little bit.
captivated me.
Okay. Yeah, so oh, that's a long story. Jesus. All right. She put me on the spot, y'all.
Father's in the house.
So with my son, well, actually, I was married, to my ex-husband, and we, raised our family a certain kind of way. We lived in a certain area. So when I divorced him, things changed, and I had to learn how to be a single mother. And so I fell into, well, the area that we lived in. It was just different. I learned right away, like. Now, I know I'm not going to say, because growing up, I grew up, I came from a lot of these areas. But as a child, your perspective of the area is not as it is as a mother. So now I'm a mother and now of a son,
Yes.
So I'm protective. I'm just like, oh, my God, I don't want my babies to go to these schools. And, so my goal was to work really hard so I can put them in better schools so they wouldn't have to go to these schools, because I realized they didn't have that many opportunities. So, nevertheless, I just got really busy. Yeah, the story is definitely on Fox, and they air it almost every day. But basically, yeah. So Christopher, he was going to the school, and it was just a lot going on at the school. It was a lot going on. He would come home and always tell me things that they were lacking. Things that the opposite. Because I'm like I started out saying, the schools that they were used to. He like, Mom, we don't have the books for this. We don't have that. Sometimes our teachers is not. Like he would go to school and says there's no teachers.
Wow.
Like it would literally be no teachers. So the kids are watching themselves. Now it's when I think about it, because I've never been afraid to speak. I always stand up for what's right. So I said, I see why God would put me in a situation like this, because I'm going to speak up. But I didn't know how or when I would be given the moment. And over time, it's like, I'm just trying to survive. I'm trying to take care of my kids. I'm trying to, so I'm working 2 to 3 jobs, overtime, just trying to do whatever. And at the time, he just falling by the wayside in the system, and I'm not even knowing, because they're passing him. They're passing him every day. They passing him. I mean, every semester. So I'm like, okay, well, he's passing, even though we know the situation, the school is not the best. So I knew he wasn't getting the best education. But I figured he's getting something, he's learning something. But he got all the way to the 12th grade. And I'm thinking, because when I went through the divorce and all the things that we went through, my kids went through it too. So when my son, got to this point, I'm like, this is a celebration. Even though, the school wasn't the best and I couldn't put him in the best schools, I'm like, this is a celebration. I get to, celebrate the fact that he's graduating. So I'm trying to put things in place to, like, celebrate him graduating. And then they told me that he's in the 9th.
Wow.
So they took him from the 12th grade and put him in the 9th. And here's another thing. They tried to pin a lot of things on me, but I went through a lot, which people didn't know. But my actual... like his transcripts and report cards, I lost a lot of my stuff in storage.
Okay.
So when I went through a lot. I just didn't speak about it, you know. So when and I probably get emotional. Y'all know I'm a crybaby.
Okay. I'm a Cancer.
But so you'll cry. Oh, that's my sign. So if we cry, we gonna cry together. Yes. But yeah. So he basically, I went through a whole lot, and I had to stay strong for them, you know. But this was like, wait, I can't help him in this. Like, so first I thought it was an error. I was like, you know what? Somebody made a mistake somewhere. This is not happening. You know, like, who I need to talk to, you know? So they like, well, I'm looking at everything and he doesn't have enough credits to even be in the 12. So I said, well, my question to you is, why were you passing him every year? Why were you doing that? But if you watch the story and it begins to, you know, progress and you hear more and you understand why they were doing the things they're doing. But I understood, it's like something in me just understood right then and there that this wasn't okay for these kids. So she said, it's not just your son. I had to make phone calls to several parents. What are you talking about? So here's it for me. I could have just took my son, which I did. I put him in another accelerating program, a school that was helping him. Like, he graduates this year. Praise God.
Praise God.
Yeah. So in June he will be done. Yeah. But I had to find resources for him. So when I spoke out, the reason for speaking out was to, you know, tell parents give parents a voice. The ones who, their parents, they wasn't there for them. You know, these kids dropped out. Some of them, like, on the corners. Like, my heart really goes out. Like, I'm a big advocate when it comes to children. Like, yeah. So that really broke my heart into pieces. And some of them was my son's friends. You know, so to hear this and see that they chose the streets, violence, and everything else because nobody fought for them, I felt like I need to speak up because this is a problem. And so when they kept the story kept resurfacing, and the more they dig, it's so much into it, and it's just like, this is what they doing to these kids. Yes. And nobody's saying anything, but it's crazy because they ridiculed me on social media. Oh my God, they tried to drag me, and I'm just glad that, you know, I know who I am. Yes. You know, yes. So I'll never allow anybody to define who I am. You know, like, I know where I came from, how I got to where I am, and what I overcame. So I'm looking like I'm not paying none of this no mind. But when I listened back to the story, which I pulled myself from the story altogether because they still were trying to interview me, I didn't like the way they were, the narrative that they was creating for me. Okay. And y'all know what they do.
Yeah, because they be
right. Yeah, so they only want to pull, they only want to talk about the negative, but they're not going to talk about how hard I work, how everything I went through to make sure they were, you know, I shouldn't have had to fight that hard about my kid in school.
And it wasn't even about you. Right. It was about your son.
Yeah.
So the question
that was the attack was on the boys, the young boys. Yes. Listen, they not ready for what I really want to say. Okay. Trust me, you could never put me on any platform and tell me, and at the end of the day, because I already know who put me in position in the first place. And I told you when I spoke to you, here's another thing, a testimony. This is so true, and I never spoke this live, so y'all get it live first at Shoes That Talk. Yes, y'all hear it
Shoes
first.
That Talk.
I never spoke on this, but it was prophesied to my son. Like, I raised my kids in church, and there's a lot of people on Facebook that can vouch for that. I've raised them in church up until, you know, they got a certain age. We kind of broke away from it because work and everything else in life. But it was a prophet that came to the church when Christopher was 8 years old, and he prophesied everything that happened in the school system. So this is why I never questioned God. When people were saying, oh, she did this and she that, and you don't know me. Yeah. Honey, you don't know me. I said, and I had to tell one lady, I said, I'm fighting for your child. Yeah. You don't even know what I'm doing.
But, you know, our people don't know how to do teamwork, for one. And another thing, those shoes that you were wearing for your child that day to go speak up on the television in front of the world.
And it was scary.
That took a lot of tenacity.
Yeah.
And, you know, you put the fear behind you. And you stepped out on faith.
Yeah.
Those shoes you were wearing were saying, I'm going to fight for my kid.
And it wasn't just my kid. It was other kids. And people that know me, like, I'm not the type of person that, like, you know, I notice I say this because I see people doing this. Like, they do things and they want it to be seen or noticed. Kids flock around me all day. My children, friends, they always in my house. I'm like everybody's mother.
Okay.
You know, so kids are like, it's been like that since I was small. Children always followed me. I had taught ministry to kids, you know, so so all of this is like, it's coming back and I'm going to fight for y'all, like whatever way possible. Like, I realized these were some dinosaurs and these people was cunning and they was coming hard, but I stood flat. Or I'm telling you, and I look, somebody was like, you stirred up the pot. I was like, look, I don't care because this is wrong.
Stir that pot up, girl. But
I'm grateful that I was even, because honestly, I was so upset that I was in the situation that I was in. But then I said, how dare I be upset, you know, because it's other parents and people that don't even don't know how to know words or like to articulate what they feel. You know, they might be going through this and they don't know how to say it. So I'm like, all right, God, I just thank you that you use me. And I know He's not finished. So they going to hear my mouth and they going to keep seeing me and I'm going to always be around. And it's just what it is, whether I do it through art. I think my whole life is a testimony. Like, I've came so far and I just,
praise God.
Yeah. And I want children to know that, like,
praise God.
I used art. Like, my mom, she was in the streets. You know, my mother, she used drugs my entire life. She was in the streets. So my outlet was art. I used to write. I used to bang on the table, sing, write. Yeah, so when people like, oh, you competing or that, I don't compete, baby. This is what I do. You know, when I wake up, this is what I do. I'm serious. Like, I'm not doing this for you. It's not for you. It's not for you. But if it's for you, if it's for anybody, is to encourage them or motivate them and show them that it don't matter what your background is. Like, you can overcome it. And that's just really, I'm like, I wouldn't have asked God to put me in that position. I'm not going to lie. But I'm glad. And my son, too, I can't wait till he is bold enough to speak because he is so wise. Oh, my God.
Really? I was going to ask you, wise. That had to have been hard for him.
Yes.
At that
oh, my
moment.
goodness.
How did he
watching him
take
transition.
That and get through that?
Watching him transition. Now y'all going to make me cry. But watching him transition, I mean, he barely even broke down. It was just like, Ma, I'm going to do this. He said, I'm not worried about what the people is saying. Like, I got this. But he always had the understanding that this is wrong.
That's powerful.
He always had that understanding. So in a way, he basically, what is the words? I can't find the words. I'm all over the place now.
He stand. You know,
he took a stand.
He took a stand.
He did.
Because God already knew if he broke down that, and God allowed him to hold your back up. That's amazing.
But every day
that's awesome.
He was, but a part of me feel, now I didn't have the resources nor the finances to change the situation for my son. So if I regret anything, people ask me, did I regret anything? That's what I regret. I wish I had more. But he always told me what was happening. So he always already knew, like, this is not the way we supposed to be treated. He would say that. He would talk, like, it's so much in him. And people that really know my child, they be like, that's why they was fighting so hard. Like, oh, that's not Christopher. They don't know Christopher. He's very wise. Okay. So it was just, the process has been, it's beautiful to watch him like change into a young man. He's 18 now. He's working. You know, he's finishing. I said, listen, you almost done. We're going to finish strong. Because he is getting weary. Like, he tired of getting up. I feel like I've been in school forever. And I'm like, it's okay. We're going to keep on going.
Get through this.
We're going to keep on going. And shout out to the movement team. Yes, because he has Akil. He's been, oh, my goodness. It's been a lot of people that said they would help. Like, mentors. That was one of the main things that I was asking for in the interview, which they chopped up my interview. But I asked about mentors because that's what I feel the young men needed. And, I say young men, but the young girls too. You know, the young people, they need mentors. And I'm like, where they at? You know, can we put these, people in place? And he has been with Christopher nonstop, like, just a lot of different things off the record. He's just been doing a phenomenal job. And it's a lot of people that didn't stay around. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you for asking about that story, because I haven't had a chance to really tell my side. I didn't feel comfortable with talking on everybody's show because, of course, everybody asked me.
Okay.
And I just turned them down. And at the time, it was just too fresh, and I just didn't even know what I might say. And lawyers and stuff is involved, so it's like you can't say but so much. But it is an ongoing case and process. So yeah, just continue to keep me, my family in prayer. I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep it moving. It's just is what it is.
Well, that's why we have the shoes that talk.
Mm.
Because actually, you know, everybody have a discerning spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And when you meet an individual and once you have a conversation, you already know what God' plan is because He talks
Yeah.
to you.
Yes.
He's our inner voice.
Mm-hmm.
And those shoes that you have been wearing was needed to be talked about to the world.
Mm-hmm.
To let people know the strength that God gave you to
Yes,
push
it was
through
all
it.
him. It's all him.
Yeah.
It's all. I promise, it's all him. I couldn't do this with my own strength, so I know it's like a greater power working. Like I be looking like, how am I doing this? Like when I think about everything, like I should not be here. Like it's really all him. So I do want to shout out.
Yeah, shout him
God,
out. Shout him
he
out.
is just too good.
He is just better than
Yeah.
good. And I'm just sitting here just so grateful just to have you in the same room.
Thank
with
you. I'm
me
grateful to be
on
here.
the podcast.
With us, yes.
Yes.
Shoes that
And
talk.
you're not finished. Like I got so much stuff going on. I'm just grateful.
Well, speaking of that, I'm hoping we can go over to these fabulous pieces that you
Yes.
brought to share with everyone
Now
today.
I'm gonna get into my model's butt because a few of them was supposed to be here to
It's
wear
okay.
them.
Yeah.
But I'll show y'all a couple pieces.
Okay.
I
So
guess.
do you want someone to put one of the jackets on, or how do you want to
Um,
do it?
Sherry, you want to be my model?
Of course. Absolutely.
Let's
So
do
the-
it.
The black
I
dress I,
love
want to put
fashion.
on it. Okay, let's
all
try
right,
the black
let's
dress.
do it.
Okay.
Ooh. And you should be able to just.
Can she just jump
Yeah,
into
you
it?
should be able to.
Be right back.
All right. Thank you, Sherry.
Sherry, a team player. I know that's right.
So this is Lady T again, and Tiffany, the fashion icon of Baltimore. You know what I wanted to know, Tiffany? Who is your mentor? Who has been your mentor? Because I hear you speak. You speak well.
Oh, thank you.
I can tell your self-esteem is where it's supposed to be, and that you are stepping into the shoes that God needs you to step into to move at His pace.
Yeah.
And you had to have a mentor.
I have a lot of mentors and influences. I still do have people I look up to, but I really want to say with the confidence part, that was my mother. She rest in peace. She made sure she always told me I was beautiful. Just like all the time, I thought it was weird. Like, okay, ma, but I feel like she felt like she needed to tell me that. And I'm glad because the world will tell you something else.
Yes.
So she made sure she told me that. My aunt raised me. So my aunt Sharita friend, shout out to my aunt. She raised me and she raised us she raised us different. That's all I gotta say. Like she definitely put in the work, teaching us how to be women, how to talk. She used to tell us all the time, a lady should be seen and not heard, So I grew up around a lot of strong women. My grandmother, Viola Jones, may she rest in peace. She was another one who, instilled a lot of things in me. And in church, growing up in church, that's like practice, honestly. It's like, get up here and read this, So, okay, I'm reading this, and it's teaching you how to, be bold and learn how to do a lot of things. My aunt Karen, she is like my confidant. And she probably beat me up if I didn't say her name. But she has definitely been a big influence in my life. Just knowing that she came from some of the things I've came from and still chose education and did things, So I got a lot of people around me. My dad, I've seen a lot of I've learned a lot from other people. And that's another thing about me. I like to learn. So I'll stay around even as I don't feel like you are ever I've ever arrived,
Okay.
So I'll always go into places. I love to be in places where I'm going to learn, from whomever I can learn from, whether it's children, adults. I just feel like, as long as you live, and you should be learning something.
You should be, and you do have a humbling spirit.
Thank you.
And it's important and essential to stay humble
Yeah.
and listen more, because it's a lot of women out here that has plenty wisdom that is for our ears,
Yeah.
you know. And when we meet someone, we never know the endeavors that God is going to allow the path to go to, but I'm grateful to have this
Shout
path
somebody else out
today. Yeah,
Okay,
shout 'em out, baby.
Cliff Jones, I want to shout you out. He saw something in me. He's actually Tracy Braxton's manager and a lot of. That's perfect. Yes, you look so good. Oh my.
Okay, so
Yes. Okay. I knew you was gonna be able to fit it.
yes, the co-host is looking fabulous. Come on in here, girl. Yeah.
Get ready for share.
Yeah.
Look at
All
you.
right, this is
Yeah.
fabulous.
So I made this piece for a friend of mine. It was his birthday party, and I wore it for myself. So yes, it was an all black party, and I had to come through. So yeah, this was me.
It's gorgeous.
Yes, I'm gonna have to get one of these made
I'm
for
telling you,
myself.
because it looks great on Sherry. Yes,
that's
wearing it well, darling.
Thank you.
I am ready for the party.
I know
Yes,
that's
I
right.
think so.
Don't be tardy for that party. Okay? Show up and show out, honey.
Oh, so you are just wearing that dress, and Tiffany,
Mhm.
I'm not even surprised of the look. I'm not even surprised of the simple simplicity that you put in this unique piece, because you are one awesome, amazing young lady.
Thank you. So
Yes,
are
you are.
Thank you so much. Look, I want you to put the green one on, and that's it. We ain't gonna put no more on, but this is a simple one. We
Yes.
going into spring, ladies. So I
Yes,
want
you
y'all
look
to-
very pretty in that
I
black
couldn't
dress,
bring
Sherry.
all the stuff because I don't want to give away the fashion show. So I want y'all to come
Yes.
and enjoy the
Cool.
fashion.
Yes. Yes.
This was good. I'm so glad to be here.
I'm glad you came. And
Shoes
glad
that
to have
talk.
met you.
He know where to send his child. I'm telling you.
So,
I don't bang with everybody. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Don't make you start being weird. I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go the other way, honey. You ain't bring it back. Okay. I know she coming back with the green.
So again, let everyone know where the fashion show will be at the end of
okay.
this month.
Yes. The 27th. It's on a Sunday. It's gonna be at the Patapsco Arena. Yes, everybody, please come out and support me. What else? The tickets are on sale. They are $50 for the standard tickets, and then we have VIP. For the very important people. We can't forget about y'all. And then I have gift bags for you. But everybody is important, and I really want y'all to come out and see not just my collection, but there's other designers that's showing their collection. It's a young guy. Oh my God, I'll tag his name in this, but he's coming on board, and I'm excited to have him. I can't pronounce his name. I feel so bad, but I'm excited to see his look. So I'm a fan of everybody's too. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see what they're doing. And then we got the artist that's coming out. So yeah, come out, support Baltimore. Yes, y'all, we can't do this without you. You have to come out and see the great things that are happening in the city, because there's a lot of great talent. Not just myself, it's so many people, and I've been surrounded by so many of them. So shout out to all of them. And yeah, let's get it.
Let's turn it up for.
Let's change
Let's
the narrative.
support the system. We
That's
have
right.
to support the system.
Because they say we don't come together. They say we don't support each other. So we have to change that narrative.
Yes, and put your dancing shoes on and
Yes.
get cute.
And hold up, get cute. Don't come
You
to
heard what I
my
said.
show looking crazy.
Get cute.
Put on your Sunday's best, honey. No, but it's gonna be really nice. I'm excited about it. I don't even feel like it's my show at this point. I'm just like, y'all heard about the Land on the Sexes? Y'all coming? Like, yeah, it's gonna be nice. I'm still trying to figure out where we're gonna be for the after party. So if y'all got some after party ideas, let us know, because
we can do it at the Culture Center.
Let's get it
Rennie
done.
Bass is always, we can look into the schedule and
After
make
party.
it happen.
Yes, y'all know I like
Culture
the party.
Arts Center, y'all.
And after all this work, okay. Oh, okay. No,
girl,
it
you
look
look
nice.
fabulous. Come on in
No,
here,
that one is
Sherry.
nice too.
So push your chair back some for me, Tiffany. So
Sherry, the model
hand me this.
today.
Hand me this.
You got it on right. It's just a little twisted.
Girl, you might have to get a couple of these pieces. She got the way you wearing these. Can y'all see this outfit?
Yeah, it's got a nice long train.
Yes,
really
it does.
And they'll be in different colors, so this is good for the summer, spring, summer ladies. Yeah, so turn
It's
to the
gorgeous.
And this, I'm knocking the microphone.
fabric. I
That's
like the
okay.
Yeah, the fabric is very nice. It feels good on my skin.
It looked like it has a lot of spandex in it.
Yeah.
Okay. The quality is great.
Thank you.
All right. We
Sherry,
loving
the
it.
model.
Yeah, so you never know what shoes to talk gonna bring to you. So today we brought fashion in, ladies, because you know we all love fashion. We always like to look fabulous.
When you look good, you feel good.
Yes.
That is just really a true statement. Don't listen to nobody. Put your makeup on, and whatever else, whatever you gotta do to make you feel good.
Is needed.
Cut your hair, fellas. You know, put that. You know, when you got something on, you know. Whatever you going through, you be like, I don't even care. I look good today.
Yes.
You know, like, yeah, get into this look.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Fashion, attitude,
Yes.
personality will carry you a long way. And just smile, because sometimes you never know. People be having bad days, honey.
Yeah.
And especially with the pandemic has been going on, people are very depressed.
Oh, my
And
God,
then you can
yes.
even tell when they enter the room that even with the mask on,
You can feel the energy.
you can feel the energy. So we got to love on one another. We got to hug each other. And we got to spread some good energy so we can help people come up out of the depression, come up out of the stuck mode.
And I really don't like when people say, like, because they'll see me, like, smiling and be happy, like it's a facade. No, it's real. I'm really happy.
There
God
you
is good
go.
to me. It's really real. So when it's like, it's okay to smile.
It
Like, let's
is.
make that okay again. You know, like, it's okay to be happy.
It
You know,
is.
here she coming here happy self. Yes, happy and blessed. And I have bad days, you know,
We
but
do.
I just don't stay in that. You know, when it happens, it happens, and I try to get past it, you know.
I had a question. So how did you learn how to channel out your emotions?
I had to find gift. My gift is what helped
Being
me.
creative.
Being creative. Because,
Okay.
you know, growing up, I had a lot of people would pull me aside, like, you're different. You know, you're not supposed to be doing this.
Okay.
I could tell the way you dress that you know, because my aunt used to have us with shiny shoes and bows, ties, and whatever else going on. She dressed us up. So they would pull me aside, like, I know that you come from good, you know, stuff. So it's a process, you know. But I had to learn that whatever I was going through or went through, you know, I couldn't make that who I was.
Okay.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? That even though it was my reality, it was happening.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I just always felt like I was a star. I used to say that. I don't know.
You are a star.
I just, as a child, I'm serious. I would stuff, all hell be breaking loose. I'd be like, we gonna make
I felt
it.
like that too.
Yeah, like, we got this.
Yes.
Like, I mean, it was disheartening as I got older and it wasn't happening, you
Yes.
know. But I still always spoke like that. Like, it just always was what I thought, you know, and
So
how I
you
felt.
know where I see you going. I see you being a fashion icon with your own business, having an empire, and
Thank
you mentoring women through the Word of God
Yeah.
and bringing out the best in girls and women. Because you're very creative and you're a creative thinker, and when you have that about yourself, you can just touch and mold.
Yeah. And you know, it's another thing I forgot to mention. I like to make people feel good. And I think that's why I chose the stuff that I do, because I actually am licensed cosmetologist as well.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, so I chose that path because it make people feel good. I
A
know
lot of
this.
shoes talking in here today.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is,
Yes.
Sherry.
I learned that. I don't know why people do that. They see me online and they be like, I'm gonna just call her. It's okay. And I should just say your name out
No,
loud.
we're not going to even give them that.
But
But we was just talking.
yeah.
On channel out and don't get that energy.
Yeah. So so at the end of the day, I learned that is my mission. Like, ultimately, I mean, people, they like, you be up under everybody posts. Yes, because I just be so happy to see that people are, like, especially when you know people's story, and then you watching them overcome and you watching them keep going. It does something to me. Like, I love to celebrate others. When I celebrate other people, it helps me.
It channels back to you.
Yeah, I love it.
It channels,
Yes,
definitely
makes you feel
channels
good
back
too,
to you.
knowing that you reach somebody and you
Yeah.
can help somebody, to do.
It's
something
definitely
great.
authentic. It's just something I always want to do. Like, you're gonna be okay. I was that as a child. They be like, girl, shut up. But like, I'm bad as crap. I'm probably the worst out of all of them. But I'm like, we gonna be all right. Like, are you want to be a good child or you want to be the motivational speaker? Tiffany?
That's
Which
right,
one?
Tiffany.
Which one?
Speak life
See, God,
into
he was working on me at a young age. Somebody else gonna tell a story different. They gonna be like, that little girl was she was bad as crap. Yeah, I went through a process.
This is great. This is
Tiffany,
great.
is this your first fashion show?
No.
Okay.
I've done several. My own, I've done 3.
Okay.
And then I've been a part of other fashion shows. Shout out to Lady Day. I've done some with her. She's been doing really good. Just entertainment industry, doing a lot in the city. Shout out to her for giving me the opportunity. I think I've done maybe 3 shows with her as well. So all together about 6. So this is my 7th one, which is good because this is my 7th year. And 7 is my 7th year in business, and 7 is my favorite number. It's the month I was born.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just really hyped about that. And y'all know I can talk forever, so don't keep asking questions. I'm gonna keep them coming.
No,
Yeah.
I really enjoy. I love fashion. I love dressing up.
Okay,
a lot of
don't tell me
times,
that,
just
'cause
going
I'm
to
putting
work,
something on
people are saying, "Where you going?" I'm like, "Coming to work."
Listen.
When you look good, I always tell people, when you look good, you feel good.
Yeah, I just got finished saying that when you was putting that dress on. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
somebody asked me, where you gonna wear that fur coat? To the market.
Yes.
Right.
To the market.
Yes.
I feel like
Specific
wearing
place.
the
Because
You
we
just
do
wanna
have a
put it on
Gucci
and
market,
go.
but every market can be the Gucci
That's
market.
right.
In Pikesville, they call
Right,
the John up there the
Gucci
Gucci
John.
market.
Oh, for real?
Yes, baby.
Yes.
Up in Pikesville.
Okay.
So, so are you working on other things that's similar to those pieces, that green dress for the summer? Because I know that's it looks like it's the color for the summer.
Yeah,
coming out.
I am.
That
I'm
green
working
is
on.
hot.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of spring colors. I actually didn't bring anything that's gonna be in the show.
Okay.
I just wanted to get y'all a taste of some
Right.
stuff that I do. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of vibrant, colors, playful colors, which is good too, because I usually don't play that much with color. I like dark colors.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause I see
like
metallics are gonna
Yes.
be hitting this summer. That's
yeah,
really big.
I prefer like the darker colors, but I'm trying to like step away from that because I love. Oh my goodness, some of the models that I have. Tia Reed, shout out to her. I just feel like I can put anything on her, like her skin complexion and just how the dress falls, and all of them. Like I'm excited. Like, can't y'all tell?
I can tell.
Yeah,
baby.
we can tell. We can tell. We're gonna
Good-
be there. I
Good
can't wait to
energy
see
in the
it.
house, y'all. Very good energy in the house.
As far as your models go, do you use the same models every time, or do you do a new audition? Can people audition to come and model for you,
Yeah,
Tiffany?
but I'm gonna be honest. All right, so y'all gonna get the real. I'm not doing that part no more.
Okay.
I think when I do more shows, I'm gonna go to the agencies and get models because what I realized that I'm really like I work hard. I'm really dedicated to my brand and what I do. So the people that come around, I'm looking for you to be the same way, and everybody is not as dedicated or serious about their craft or being a model or whatever it is they doing. So I just want to be around the people that are the movers and the shakers, the people that are getting up every day like me. Like, I'm a model. When I wake up, I'm a model. They know that's what I want those. And the ones that are aspiring to be models and you want to come walk on my show, go get to the agencies because that's only people I'm hitting up from now on. Because it's just too much. It's too much constantly having to do model calls and, different stuff like that.
Well, that's your preference because
Right.
you're the designer.
Yeah.
You're the boss.
I don't feel like it.
When you're the boss, you can make them choices.
Absolutely. I just want the best. Because
nothing wrong with that.
I want the best. Like, I know slacking kind of thing because everybody putting me on my toes, keeping me on my toes too. Like when they come and not really taking it serious, it's like, well, do I what am I doing wrong?
I know what
you know?
you're saying because
Yeah.
from when we did the play,
Yeah,
it
I
was
was just thinking
challenging.
about that,
You know,
Sherry.
yeah. You had people that were serious, and you had people that just wanted to just be doing something, just to say
you're
that
gonna
this,
get that, and that's why through the professional way of doing it is to go to the agencies and the people who, you know, these people are paying to be a part of those programs, you know, so they're serious. So those are the ones that I want to come after. Not saying that I don't see the potential in the other ones and giving up people an opportunity. That's fine, but it's so much that goes into this that you have to be, you know, understand what it takes. And a lot of times people, I want to do it, and then they recognize I can't do it. I gotta be here every day.
I totally understand.
I gotta do this. I gotta look like
I
that.
saw that too with you know, dealing with the play.
You know,
have
being
people
yes, oh my
that
goodness,
know that they
Sharon.
can do something. Like myself, I wanted to do it, and I had to prove it to myself because I had a fear, and you have to overcome your fear, you know, of doing things. And some people think they're ready, and they step out there, and they're not, and they, you know, they go back into the shell. So. Yeah, so
I was always real shy. It's funny you said that because I ain't like to speak or anything.
Me either.
I didn't like none of it.
It's this woman right here that brought me out.
So you'd be surprised the influence that you have on people when you see something in somebody, you know, pull them and let them know. There's a lot of people telling me that. I'm like, what do you see? I'm just me. You know, like they would keep telling you, you're supposed to be doing this. And I don't want to. I want to sit back here. I don't, you know, but I recognize that
you have to be careful of people that speak over our lives.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh.
You know, and being a producer and a director of a play for the first time for All the Glitter Ain't Gold, it was a task in itself. It was a learning experience for me, and it was a try and error. But at the end, to see the results of the characters and the cast, it was phenomenal.
You know, I write plays too.
Really?
I'm not surprised because you're
I
very
write music,
creative.
I write plays, I wrote movies, I wrote films. I actually was supposed to, the person I shouted out earlier, Cliff Jones, he saw something in me that I wasn't ready for. And he offered me an opportunity to, I don't know if I can say that on here, but it's the true story. You know, I was supposed to work with Viacom. I was scared.
Wow.
Like, that's a lot, you know? And now I think I'm a little more ready for stuff.
You ready, girl.
But then I was like, wait a minute, this is moving too fast. I mean, like, what are we talking about? Talk to who? I don't even know what to say to him.
Okay.
Yeah, because Tammy, when I first met her, her daughter was she was mentoring to a group of young folks, and I just came along with my uncle, just, you know, in there. And Tammy was like, come on, I need you. And I'm like, is this woman really serious? Don't get me out this chair right now. I got to go in front of all these people. And I did it. And
Cancers
I was like,
do that. We put people on the spot.
yeah, I did it. So I was like, oh, okay. So this woman sees something in me. You know, she saw something in me at that time. And we're doing things and moving forward and doing great things together. So
yeah, but I did a stage play with Tanya Blunt, the singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tanya Blunt.
in,
she sang His Eyes on a Sparrow.
Yeah,
Oh my
with,
goodness,
Lauryn
you had
Hill.
her?
Yeah, it's a friend of mine, Tanya.
Okay.
And here's the crazy thing about people seeing things in you. So I came to the audition to be a backup singer.
Wow.
And ended up getting the lead role for the stage play. And I was like,
that's awesome.
But this her scene. Like, I don't supposed to do this. She was like, no, you are supposed to do this. I was scared to death. I promise y'all. I was like, what? But the crazy thing, and this is why I ended up getting a position, I was supposed to be her understudy.
Okay.
So I studied all of her lines. I knew the line. I knew everybody's lines. That's how dedicated I was and how excited I was to be a part of that cast. And they was like, so every time somebody messed up, I'm like, no, this is your line, you know. So I earned a spot.
Yes,
like, they was like, okay, she knows her stuff. And then I had the talent, but I was scared. I really was scared. I'm going to send y'all the video so y'all can look at it because it's on YouTube. But I was like terrified. Like, I wasn't ready for that. I felt like I wasn't ready for that.
But you know what? We had an understudy for real, and she didn't even have that title. Mo.
Oh yeah.
She
Oh yeah, because she
knew
was bouncing from
everybody.
one character.
I knew
to the
And
everybody
next.
she
line.
did a magnificent
Yeah,
job
she
with
did.
you.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
shout
she
out to
wound up with
Mo.
me.
She
Yay,
was,
Mo.
yes, hey girl.
Yeah, but I got some real so when you said people that motivated me, like to have somebody like her tell me she told me reminded her of Lauryn Hill. I was like, Lauren, that's an icon. Oh my God, I had chills. Like she said, Tiffany, the way you come to practice, how committed you are. She said, when I hear you, because I got another side to me, y'all. Like I be rapping and stuff.
Okay.
So they got to hear that, and she was like, "You act like this is just crazy." So that was dope. When she said that, I was like, "Okay, she's seeing this in me," and that built. When you talk about confidence, it built my confidence, and I wasn't as shy knowing that these great, people that's been around so many great people is seeing that in me.
Your greatness.
Yeah,
we talked about the greatness in us.
that was really good. That was cool. Yeah.
So the question is, you remember the question, Sherry?
Yes.
I
I
hope
have
ain't
one
no
more
crazy
question before you ask that question.
Okay.
So it was going to be to you and her. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm like, okay, so then maybe we have our I don't know what do you call that person for your dress, for your plays and stuff like that, for your costumes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I had already told Rudy that we were going to bring her in and let her dress everyone for the
Yeah,
play.
that would be awesome.
Yes.
Great,
I already speaked it in existence. I just haven't brought it to you. But I see
you
how.
told me.
Oh, I did.
Yeah,
share it
look,
with
we
you.
was
Okay.
talking.
We was really kicking it
yeah.
then, because I wanted to think outside the box because God has great things for both of us, all three of us.
Yeah.
And we had to
stay connected.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely. I know where I'm supposed to be. You talked about discernment earlier. I really have a discerning spirit. Like I can tell when something ain't right. You be like, Tiffany, she was in the building.
So I know what the next question is.
Yes.
What?
Sherry got it. Yes.
What's the next
Go
question?
for it, Sherry.
Well, I may not even word it correctly, so you go ahead, Tammy.
You word it just the way you want to, darling.
Because I may not say it. If you were to look at yourself in the mirror right now, what would you see?
An overcomer.
What would you see? Who would you see?
That's powerful.
An overcomer.
Okay.
I've overcame so much.
But wait a minute, I didn't say it completely though.
Okay,
when you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're completely naked.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely nothing on. What do you see? Who do you see?
Thank you.
A mother. A strong woman. A beautiful woman.
Okay.
Actually, I do affirmations in the mirror sometimes. I talk to myself. You are beautiful. You are strong.
Yes, that's awesome.
You got this. You're going to tackle today. Today, you got this. I got to tell myself that because I don't always feel like that. So, yeah, that's what I see. Yeah, I used to see something different. I used to feel like I don't know, looking and be ashamed. You think of things that you've been through that you wish you could have done different. But I'm not. I promise
and
you.
So,
I'm not
and with saying that, those that person that was wearing those shoes, are those shoes put up on the shelf?
I probably threw some of them in the trash.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them places I ain't going back. I'm gonna tell you the truth,
Okay.
honey. I ain't. They are gone. They are ran over.
So right now, then there's growth.
Yeah,
so that person
I was telling her when you went in there, I love growing. Like I pride myself on it. I just feel like if you are living, you should be growing. Anything that's living should be growing.
Absolutely.
So I put myself in positions where I can learn. I like to learn from people. Sometimes I just be quiet and just be in a room observing. I did that a lot with Tanya and them. I sat back and I watched how she moved. I studied. I had to because I was her understudy. So I had to watch how she moved and listen to her testimony and how she overcame things. So it helped me understand that we all have a purpose and
it feels good when you can encourage another sister and lift another sister up.
Absolutely. So we pushed through this evening, right? But I need you to share with someone because it's someone looking and listening.
You can just press the red button.
That needs your energy, needs your drive, needs your tenacity.
Okay.
It is a person that needs your love. So if you was to give a word of wisdom, what would you close out with?
Put God first. I be in the club, I be everywhere. I don't look, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Like, I remember the old folks telling me, like, if you make your bed in hell, he be right there with you. Like, it's like Bible verses be in my head, you know. Put God first, and I just believe that everything else will follow. Like, I don't never know what I'm doing sometimes, but I trust the process. And I trust that God is with me. I just believe it. And I pride myself on that. Even when all hell is breaking loose, like, I lost somebody really close to me. My mother was like my best friend. So for me to be able to even be here, like, that was her dream for me anyway. I told you she always said I was a star. So her dream for me was to do this. So that's another thing. Like, I feel like I'm doing a dishonor if I don't get up and live her, like, allow her name to continue to live and her life to live through me. But yeah, just find your why, like your reason for why you're doing anything. And when you find that, I think everything else just makes sense. Like, my children is definitely my reason every day. Like, when I don't want to do it, I look at them, I know I got to do it for them. And my kids think that I am rich. And I'm not.
Don't
you
all
know,
children
my
think
kids
they're
think I
rich?
got money. So I'm just trying to get the money that they think I have. And they motivate me. I mean, my daughter be sending me product, like, I want these shoes. And I'm like, sis, we not
get to that bag.
Yeah, so it's motivating me. It really is. So just finding your why. Finding your reason. Like, why do I do any of this? I had to find it because I didn't know. I just used to like to do stuff. But I realized that it was deeper than that. You know, it was bigger than that. I realized I was, even though I didn't want that position, I was influencing people. So, and I struggled with that because I felt like I always had to be on, and sometimes I wasn't. Some days I was off, you know. So, and it's okay to be off, and it's okay to tell people, like, today's just not a good day, you know.
Right.
My aunt, she said better than me. This is not a people day. This is not a people day for me. This is just a day where I'm trying to get me together. So yeah, so it's a process, but finding your why, putting God first, staying grounded and not letting people, tell you what you should be and shouldn't be, but understanding who you are and knowing who you are and standing in that. Because like you said, having people speaking into your life is not always a good thing. You got to already know who you are.
Yes,
so finding yourself is number one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Tiffany, thank you. This has been a great hour.
Yes, it has.
And we're going to bring you back, girl.
Yeah,
and we're going to bring you back, and you're going to do some rapping for us, and you're going to get a little...
Yes. Because I told you I'm a perfectionist, so I
hit
gotta
that
go
note.
and
Hit that note.
Yes.
If I had a song, I would sing. I don't even have a song. This was really a good interview. I enjoyed it. I love you, ladies. I already adopted you like family. So,
and I love you too, Tiffany.
Thank you.
And
for that.
I'm blessed to have you in my space.
Yes. And she's a Cancer, so she's gonna be fighting for me, y'all. So
I have two Cancers on the side. Yep. There's a Virgo here.
Oh, that's why y'all click. Okay,
yeah,
yes,
absolutely. Yeah, my dad's a Cancer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So stay tuned again because I got some surprises for you all. This is Lady T
and Sassy Cher
and Tiffany Tanelle. I want to see y'all March 27th too.
Yes,
so because we're gonna get our dance on.
Come back, people. Shoot us some shoe reviews. Let us know how we did tonight, and subscribe to our YouTube. And
Shoes that talk.
Shoes that talk.